Okay, let's run.
Your mission, should you choose to accept it.
It's a quest. It's a quest for fun.
Well, The Rock says, why don't we just cut right to the chase?
Okay, now he wants to get together. Well, he wants to talk.
I want you to do me a favor. I want you to tell all your friends about me.
It's showtime, folks!
What are you?
Greetings and salutations. Welcome to And I Quote. This is the weekly show where we introduce you to creators from all over the world and we find out more about them by taking your questions. I am your host, Ryan of And I Quote channel, and our guest on this episode is a wonderful person inside and out and a writer herself. And she's joining us all the way from down under in Australia. And another great thing about Australia is that one of the best Disney animated feature films took place there, and it's simply known as The Rescuers Down Under. So please welcome Bella is here. Hello, Bella. How are you?
Hello. Thank you for having me.
Yeah, we're very thankful that you are with us. If you have any questions for Dr. Bella Ellwood-Clayton, my gosh, that's one heck of a name, folks. Let us know. I know, right? Let us know in those comments. Let us know in the chat. And we're more than happy to take those as they come in respectively. Do not forget to like and share this with everybody you know. And if you're joining us live or what is known as a replay, we specifically thank you so much for being with us. With that out of the way, Bella, what would you say were some of your favorite books or writers growing up?
Ooh, growing up. Well, I think for sure, and being Canadian, Anne of Green Gables was the book for me that I just adored so much. And there was also a book that I was reading as a preteen called A Summer to Die. And that just hit all the sort of pathos and angst of adolescence, but was also just so beautifully written.
Interesting. I'm not familiar with that last one, but that's okay. I can dig it. Hey, we learn something new every day on this, every week, I should say, on this program. What would you say were some of your favorite TV series growing up?
Well, when I was quite young, I'll put my age here. I like The Facts of Life. And then sort of getting a little bit older, Wonder Years. What else was I enjoying? Beverly Hills 90210. Yeah, that's my age group, you can see.
Oh, I don't mind that at all. No. 90210 has one of the best theme songs of all time. And The Wonder Years is in my top 5 of all time. So
I know. I want to figure out a way to get it so my children can watch it, but it's really hard to figure out where it is. I've tried. I've given it 5 minutes of searching for it. I don't know.
Oh, dear. Well, I will inform you, for those of you who may be unaware of this, The Wonder Years is currently streaming. Well, for those of us in North America anyway, it is currently streaming on Disney Plus.
So is it? Oh my gosh. Okay.
It actually is.
Yeah, I wasn't last time I looked on Disney here, but if it is, yeah, it's so brilliant. It covers so many interesting historical things and so tender and sweet and funny.
Very much so. So it is available to stream on Disney Plus / Hulu, but it also is available in physical media form on DVD from, I want to say it's, well, I don't think it's Shout Factory, but it's from another distributor that's similar to Shout Factory. So you can find it on physical media if you go to Amazon or some other online retailers. I think Amazon's the best place to find it. But yeah, Amazon, they have everything. So feel free to look it up. It is available. I have all 6 seasons on DVD. I've actually had the pleasure of meeting, what's her name? Olivia Dabo, who played Karen.
Winnie, by any chance?
No, I haven't met Winnie. I haven't met Danica McKellar, but I will lose my ever-loving mind if I ever bump into Danica McKellar.
Can you imagine? Oh my gosh. Yeah.
Oh my goodness gracious. What young boy, or whoever else for that matter, did not have a crush or wanted to just hang out with Winnie Cooper any day of the week and twice on Sunday? So, but I have met, like I said, Olivia Dabo, who played Karen Arnold, Kevin's sister, the older sister.
Oh, yes. I remember her well, too. Right?
Yes. I met her at a convention. She was very kind and sweet and generous. She signed my season 3 DVD set of The Wonder Years with her actor name and her character name, respectively. And I was like, yes, I made it. So, and she's done a lot of voiceover work, too. So well done, Olivia Dabo. Love you to pieces, girl. You're a wonderful person inside and out. And please do more convention appearances because The Wonder Years is one of the top 5 greatest TV series of all time.
Yeah.
So let's get those folks out there. I'm just saying. And by the way, the theme song, come on.
I know. The
so
music.
Good. Little Help from My Friends by Joe Cocker.
Yes.
Come on, who doesn't like that tune? I'm just throwing that out there as a for instance. Flip side of the coin, though, what would you say were some of your favorite movies growing up?
Okay, so Gorillas in the Mist was the first movie that my friends and I went to, and we had to run out of it. I left the theater because I was crying so hysterically when the poor gorillas were being killed by the poachers. And then Dirty Dancing was also a group movie experience, and it was the first time anything sexy I'd ever seen. Like I just that whole world was not to any of us, and we went as a group of friends. I don't know how old we were exactly, and it was just like mind blown. And now my daughter loves it, so it's cool.
That is really cool. So as cool as ice is Patrick Swayze. Rest in peace, good sir. We're gonna miss you. For sure. He's done many great performances, including that one. He was also in Roadhouse. He was also in Point Break with Keanu Reeves. If you haven't seen those two films, you might want to sit down and watch it, especially Roadhouse has got some really cheesy machismo moments, but it works.
Yeah.
And Sam Elliott's in it. So, can't go wrong, folks. Can't go wrong. I want you to be nice until it's time to not be nice. Sorry, that's a line from Roadhouse, Patrick Swayze. Feel free to look it up. But yeah, good call, good picks. And by the way, no one should ever put baby in a corner.
No.
So
I spent summers doing that move with my friends. We just practiced it. Like probably 2 or 3 years, we were just trying to do that move.
You were trying to do the lift.
This is before the internet. What else would we do than trying to do the lift?
The lift. Okay.
Yeah.
Were you playing the song while you were attempting these daring?
Occasionally, usually we were outside in the grass, like lunchtime or just long summer evenings, in that whole vibe of just being outside and playing. Remember that? Did you have that at all? I don't know.
Yeah, we went out and played when I was younger. Yeah. It was fun too. It was fun. That's when things were simple.
And you get into trouble in a good way, as opposed to being in trouble online.
That's true. That's very true. We did. My friends and I, in the neighborhood I lived in at the time, we were living in a cul-de-sac. If you know what a cul-de-sac is. So we went rollerblading, we went bike riding, we played on the swing sets, played on the monkey bars, if you know what I mean. We played video games together, like Nintendo or Super Nintendo, whatever it was. So we have our fair share of memories, folks. It's childhood nostalgia. It's a beautiful thing. And by the way, when you're 6, 7 years old, things are a lot simpler. You don't have to worry about these bigger things in life, like paying bills and adulting and all that.
Yes.
All that overrated nonsense. Now, by the way, a young someone by the name of Sem2277MEC is giving us waving emoji saying hello to everybody. Well, hello to you.
Hello to you.
Yeah, Sem2277Mech. I'm so sorry if I'm mispronouncing that, but it's good to have you here, and thanks for joining us live via Twitch. For those of you who are just tuning in, this is Dr. Bella Ellwood-Clayton on, and I quote, "Do not forget to like and share this with everyone you know. If you're joining us live on a replay, thank you so much for doing so. And if you have any questions for her, let us know in those comments or let us know in the chat. Or if you're just here to say hi, we don't mind. We don't mind that either. Goodness gracious. Wow, movies, TV series. We have a little bit in common here with our love of Wonder Years. Thank goodness I'm not the only person who remembers that show.
Yeah.
Goodness gracious, it had some great storylines. And the narration by Daniel Stern is just so good. So good. And the guy went on to play a burglar in the Home Alone movies.
Oh, did he?
Yeah, he was Marv in Home Alones 1 and 2 with Macaulay Culkin. Did you not know Daniel Stern was in those?
No.
Well, there you go. Fun fact.
Yeah.
Fun fact. Now you and your family have something to watch during the holiday season.
I can point that out.
With Home Alone and Home Alone 2, Lost in New York, because they're both in that movie. So just throwing that out there. Wow, man, fun facts. I'm loving this. So what made you decide to become a writer?
So my dad was a writer, although he was actually all the way in Melbourne, and my mom had left a long time before that. So I didn't see him writing. But maybe it's in my DNA. I don't know. First time I wrote a poem, I'd hurt my knee. It was a few years after this whole Dirty Dancing kind of moment. So I was out with my friends. We were at a sort of cabin, severely hurt my knee, and I was rushing to the hospital, and it was pouring rain. And the way that the raindrops were kind of connecting together on the window pane and becoming one struck me in my acute pain as something so extraordinary and beautiful. I started writing poetry, and then for a very long hospital stay, that's where I really started to use pen and paper to express how I was feeling, and haven't stopped since that hospital stay.
My goodness gracious.
Mm.
Fascinating story. Within
Yeah.
itself, within itself. With all due respect, what would you say are some of the biggest rewards about being a writer?
I think, any job where you're in the zone and you kind of forget time and space and you're transported somewhere else and you feel right. Anyone who can find that, like that's such a key in life. If anyone can find that with whatever they're doing. And for me, that's the dancing and writing. I don't dance much anymore, but I just lose myself. I lose sense of time and there's a purpose and just a feeling of naturalness to it. So I feel really lucky to have found that. And I hope, for when I'm talking to younger people, like about what goals they have with work, I'm just like, try to find something that doesn't feel like work.
Right, very true. Because if you love what you do, it's never called work, folks.
No, nope.
It's never called work. I've learned that. I learned that many years ago. And one of the reasons I keep doing this podcast is because I love what I do. And if you love what you do, it's never called work. So this is just something I love to do. This isn't work for me. At least when it comes to the podcasting part of my life. I mean, I have other parts of my life that is work, but this
Yes,
is,
me too. Yeah, that's
yeah,
right.
we all got to pay them bills, folks.
Gotta pay them bills.
Pay them
Being an
bills.
artist, or
Exactly. We got to pay the
Yeah.
insurance costs every month, which is ridiculous. You got to pay for this, that, and the other. You got to pay for your car and this and that and this. It's like, come on, guys, come on. Why can't things be simple? Why do they have to be so bloody complicated?
Completely. So I guess the goal then is to do what you love and supplement it with paid work, and then in an ideal world it merges together, right? But that doesn't happen for most, I don't think. So as we, I think in the journey of being an artist or someone that's following their dreams, any type of dream, realism sets in, and then we have to, readjust and see how they fit together.
That's very true. Bella dropping some knowledge
Oh yeah.
on this on this program.
Learned the hard way.
I know, right? I know,
Yeah.
right? And on the
Yeah.
opposite side of the fence, though, what are some of the biggest challenges about being a writer?
Well, like I'm also a book coach and an editor, so I work with lots of new writers and best-selling authors, and so I see it from the other side. I see myself obsessed with my own projects and having my own dreams, and then I see, so many other people with exactly the same dream. Um, Being a professional writer, being paid for writing, supporting yourself through it, reaching commercial success, if that's your goal, is brutally difficult, and only a few survive in this space and make it. So I think it's good to know that going in. I don't know. It's like trying to go into the Olympics. Isn't it good to know what the shots are, what the chance you have, how much time it's going to take? Unfortunately, with all this knowledge of how unlikely it is to reach commercial success, it's an absolute addiction. All the writers know it. You just fall into it. It's a trance of seduction, and almost none of us can get out despite not making any money from it. It's very odd. It's what a industry.
Very true. Life has a way of throwing us curveballs when we least expect them to. So you got to take that into account. So
Yes, happenstance, magic, right time, right place. That's a lot of it too, but a lot of what people are hoping for as well.
Yes, that is very true as well. So what advice would you give to aspiring writers out there?
I would really be pinpointing like what is it you want? Are you wanting to write a full novel and complete it? Because that's a massive goal, and most people on earth can't get that done. Is your goal to publish some poetry? Is your goal to go through your grandmother's recipes and make a beautiful online book? All those paths take completely different steps. So being really in tune with what your goal is number one.
There you go. Number one. The more you know. See, there you go. Sorry, something's on the brain. It just happens sometimes. References, people, references. It happens to the best of us. But fantastic advice, and thank you for sharing that with us. Do greatly appreciate it. So I do want to share something with you and with you who may be watching or listening to this right now. Weekend friends.
Woo!
Now, hanging out on the weekends with friends or loved ones, whatever it may be, that's a lot of fun. But for someone who's unfamiliar with weekend friends, what exactly how would you say the elevator pitch for this one, and how did you come up with this?
Okay, so the tagline is, for girls, the tween years are like the Hunger Games. For their mothers, it's worse. And I was really looking to explore what happens when parents, children are going through a lot of trauma at school and how the adults interact and how they behave badly. And basically, when I was writing this book, my daughter was about 12, and I was really aware of the social milieu of people in her class and globally, of girls particularly, falling for so much, falling for so much heartache to do with inclusion and exclusion and bullying, which has always happened. But the difference is that social media makes it 24/7, more painful because you're aware of what you're missing out on. Um, and there was a very big link between that and child suicide. So these are some of the issues I wanted to explore.
Yeah, and it's a tough subject matter to tackle at times. It's not easy, especially if you know someone or you're aware of a situation that's going on where somebody lost a loved one due to that circumstance. It's very unfortunate. And also with social media, because we spoke about this earlier, cyberbullying is such a big problem.
It
So
really is. And, I think before you could go to school and feel like awful when things were happening and have that as the place where the problem was. But now the problem can be everywhere, and kids are sleeping with their phones, waking up, getting messages in the middle of the night. It's more silent, there's less witnesses to what's going on. So, definitely, I think worldwide, not just kids, not just teenagers, adults, all of us, I think, suffered quite a bit to do with our mental health and social relationships, whether it's FOMO or, infidelity, temptations. There's a lot going on that's sort of wreaking havoc on our mental equilibrium.
hmm, very true, very true, especially with social media. My gosh, some of the things I see, I just kind of wish I didn't see, or just things that wish I could have put a kibosh on for a bit, or just not worried about it at all. So yeah, social media can be our best friend for information at times, but it also be our worst enemy. So
Yeah, yeah. So the book was kind of looking at that as
mhm.
an element, but there's also lots of other things going on. There's a very spicy relationship between the mother and the principal at the school.
Oh
Um,
my.
there's moms behaving badly, and it just, sort of a bit of an exploration of female friendships in the, in the widest sense.
Hmm. Well, that's great. Congratulations on that. That's
Thank
that's
you.
fantastic. I like the cover. Who designed the cover for you?
My publisher is Post Hill Press, and it was a little bit of a collective back and forth. But yeah, it's a very eye-catchy cover. A lot of people who've read it were just sort of saying they don't think it necessarily matched like all the toxic, intense issues going on because it looks quite friendly. But if you look at the cover a little bit more closely, like you can see, there's shadows of teenagers up here, sort of overseeing it, and we really wanted to play with this pink inner tube
Right.
as a symbol of, fun and happiness and summer enjoyment, and then the shadow as well. So that's what we were kind of going for there.
Hmm. Well, it looks great. It looks fantastic. And once again, congratulations on the release of that novel. And I take it the reviews have been the response to it has been pretty positive thus far.
Yeah, the reviews have been amazing. I really appreciate that. I also did a lot of my own sort of reaching out to podcasters and bookstagrammers and TikTokers. So it's been an education in how to promote your book. Long gone are the days where the publisher would do all the promoting for authors. So it's, a skill like any other. And it's been fun too to post myself and be more creative. Like I have a TikTok account, which I never, and I'm doing in face posts, which was really scary to start off with. So, pushing me out of my comfort zone.
Hmm. Well, nothing wrong with that. It's always good to explore
Yeah.
new things and explore new territory in terms of marketing. So,
Yes, that's
you know,
right.
TikTok's kind of big right now, so kind of grab the bull by the horns, as one might say.
Yeah,
Um,
sometimes I show the TikToks before I post them to my teenage kids, and I'm like, "Is this passable or is it really cringe?" And they're like, "Oh no, so cringe." And my son taught me things like, I can't talk at the normal pace that we're talking now with TikTok videos. It has to be fast, starting quickly. Don't preamble. I'm glad he taught me that.
there you go. So clearly, the Force is strong in your family. To use a Star Wars reference, you're welcome.
Yeah.
Uh, I I grew up on Star Wars. What can I say? Fantastic stuff. So, have you had a chance to attend any conventions or book signings And if so, what have your experiences been like thus far?
Well, for this book, because my publisher is in the States, it was a bit tricky getting the book out over here. So I worked with a local bookseller here and had my launch, which was really fun. And next month, I'm having a book signing event as well. So it's a little bit less in person and more things like this, connecting with people around the world online and promoting the book that way. But yeah, what was really fun about the book launch is I got a scene from the book and had my daughter and her best friend enact it. And of course, to the theme of the book, they're no longer speaking. So just goes to show. Yeah.
Gee willikers.
Yeah.
Phew. Interesting things have happened. One way or the other, I would venture to say. All right. Well, is there any genre that you hope to write a book about or dive into that you haven't gotten a chance to write about yet?
Well, I am really loving this I am really loving this domestic suspense, light thriller kind of space, women's fiction. Women's fiction. I know there's some controversy with that title. But I do really like rom-coms too. And I'm not very funny in person, but I'm funny in my writing for some reason. So I like playing with that there.
All right. Well, I hope the odds are ever in your favor once you do dive into that and write a book or a story or two that's focused in that area. Just out of curiosity, what's your favorite rom-com movie?
Oh my gosh, favorite rom-com movie. This is not my favorite, but How to Lose a Guy in 10 Days. I love some scenes in there because she's so, I just find it hysterical how she's setting him up. And there's just that sort of, how to put, she's...
Cat and Mouse, maybe?
Yeah, or just trying to purposely unnerve him and make him crazy. So I like that feeling. That's one of the next books I write. I want to have that feeling with the romance, where she's planting things and trying to get a reaction, and he's going crazy with it.
Gotcha. One of the things I remember from that movie is nobody likes Mr. Sniffles. Kate Hudson saying that about McConaughey.
I don't remember that. And I've also really enjoyed just recently watching One Day, the English version Netflix series. Brilliant. And that's a bit rom-commy.
Well, maybe I heard Mr. Sniffles in another movie. Maybe I'm wrong. I don't know.
I remember Mr. Sniffles, but I'm not one to remember lines.
That's all right. All right. Because I was going to say, if you're the expert and you've seen this movie 10 billion times, then...
No, it's been a while.
Oh, it's been a while. Okay. Sorry. I had to look at my watch there for a moment. Sorry. No worries. So if you were to, if one of your books got adapted as a movie or a TV series, who would you cast the roles?
Oh, what a wonderful question. This is like my favorite game in the world. I haven't actually played it, but I've imagined how wonderful it would be. Well, for the kind of books that I write, they're definitely Reese Witherspoon, Nicole Kidman vibed, 100%. Who would play the really hot principal? Oh my gosh. No one's coming to mind at the moment. Let me see. To keep thinking about that. Maybe the actor from, oh no, he's a bit young, but the actor from One Day, the English series, the main male lead, he could be my hot principal.
Okay. All right.
Okay.
Yeah, I don't know the name. I don't know the name of this individual.
He's in White Lotus too. I don't know.
Yeah, the name's not coming to me. I'm so sorry.
Yeah, it's fine.
But all right, so that's one. Anyone else you would cast? In other roles, perhaps?
Well, do you remember? I don't know the actor's name, but Jax from Sons of Anarchy. He could be in one of my books for sure.
That would be Charlie Hunnam.
Yes, I would definitely cast him.
Okay, Charlie Hunnam. Yeah. He's a good-looking dude.
Mm-hmm.
He could pull off certain characters and I mean, the guy played a young up-and-coming version of King Arthur, for Pete's sake. If you don't remember, he was in a movie called King Arthur: Legend of the Sword that came out some years ago. It actually wasn't bad. I actually enjoyed it. I know it got panned by critics and a lot of audiences, but I actually liked it.
Yeah.
So there you go. Yeah, Charlie Hunnam, we're looking at you, bro. Get on this. Okay, Charlie Hunnam, the gentleman or actor from One Day in White Lotus, whose name is escaping me at the moment. I'm so sorry. Any other actors or actresses you would cast in this thing?
Let me see. No one's coming to the mind at the moment. You can come back to me on it. I'll write that down.
It's okay. Too bad we don't have insert Jeopardy theme here. Otherwise,
Yes.
we could, but it's copyrighted. We want to respect the studios for that. So don't get me wrong. Once again, this is And I Quote with the incredible guest known as Dr. Bella Ellwood-Clayton on this episode. Do not forget to like and share this with everyone you know. And if you're joining us live or what is known as a replay, thank you so much for doing that. If you have any questions for Bella, let us know in those comments. Let us know in the chat. More than happy to hear from you, respectively, as they come in and all that wonderful jazz. So fantastic. So outside of writing these New York Times best-selling books and just killing it in the popularity charts,
All right.
what is it you like the most about writing poetry or putting together poetry?
Well, these days I'm not writing any straight poetry. So I think I like the last poem I had published was a few years ago. And I would write poetry. I'd prefer, I'd like to journal and stuff, but because my work is words, it doesn't feel that relaxing at the end of writing to write more. That's what reality TV is for at the end of the day. But I try to put pearls. One of the craft books I read talked about, and I kind of thought it was cute, that the term pearls in your prose. So just here and there, rather than writing a straight sentence, write a bit of poetry, basically. You want to throw these in. And a lot of readers who are reading commercial fiction, which I write, don't want, description after description that's very poetic. It's, more plot-based or internal with characters' thoughts. But those lines that just make you go, yes, I've got a master writing this, or I'm in capable hands, I think come from playing with the words and going with the feeling more than, the logical sense of the sentence. And also if there's sex scenes in the book or fight scenes, or whenever the character's completely messed up mentally, that's when all the writing can be more poetic, because the senses aren't processing things the same way.
Hey, interesting thoughts. I'm digging this.
Yeah.
This is very interesting thoughts. I'm digging it. There's no, what am I trying to say here? There's no doubt about that. Outside of the greatness that is writing, what else do you like to do? You have any hobbies? Anything that keeps you busy outside of the writing circuit, I should say?
Yeah. Well, I'm working at uni 2 days a week doing research assistance, which is fun. And there's lots of novelty there. I'm at my yoga studio, which is about 2 blocks away, downward dogging, and that, doing breath work and things like that, and going to fire rituals, and it's quite fun. And just mumming. And that takes up all the time at the moment.
Gotcha. Well,
Yeah.
congrats on all that, and congrats on having some hobbies and stuff outside of the greatness that is writing, even though writing is not always easy, but people go ahead and do it because creative minds should be free to wander about the planet and write whatever it is that they wish to write, whether it be in one genre or another, doesn't matter.
That's right. We're so hungry for material. Like, I really think we all found that during COVID, like everyone wanted to be entertained, and the value of storytelling in all its different forms was really celebrated. So I think that's one of the great things about writing is there's, a global audience that want new, exciting stories. And I guess it's just trying to get that fresh take on an old idea, or, something that's got sort of a high concept to it. That's more worthwhile to put your attention in than a trope that's been done many times.
She's right, In the words of Morgan Freeman, she's right, Sorry, that's not my best Morgan Freeman impression. Sorry, Morgan, if you're watching this live or on the replay. Sorry about that, buddy. But, well, that's just great stuff. Congratulations once again on all of this. So I do have some questions here provided by our good friends over here at Poddex. So Poddex is curious. What is the most important thing to carry with you all the time?
I would say the notes app on my phone. That's where I'm getting story ideas. That's where I'm thinking, like, pick up cinnamon because I'm making this later. So definitely notes app. Hand sanitizer, because my teenagers still touch lots of things when we're out. So I'm constantly squirting them, going, there's still germs out. And that's it. I don't have any makeup or anything like that. No cash. Sometimes I'm just hands-free, just key and phone in my pocket.
Ah, I see. There you go. Bit of a different kind of style and attitude about things.
Yeah, that's right. Fancy-free.
Yeah. Yes, exactly. Nothing wrong with that. How do I phrase this? What is the nicest thing a stranger has ever done for you?
Oh, I thought you were going to say the nicest compliment I'd ever received for some reason. The nicest, strangest thing. This is a family show, right?
Yes, yes, it is. Yes, it is. It is. But
You can't
you know,
share that story then. Oh, stranger, the nicest thing. No, I can't think of
yeah,
anything.
okay, nothing that's appropriate for these airwaves, anyway.
No, sorry.
It's okay. It's fine. We got plenty more questions from our good friends at poddex.com. It's
Okay.
not that big a deal. It's okay. What brand or product do you buy because you feel is trustworthy?
Oh, my coffee brand.
There
I'm
you
always
go.
getting the same coffee. It's very reliable. Um, oh my God, this is the kind of mundane things. I don't know. Just there's a type of pen that I have to write with, which is ridiculous. So these are Pilot pens, and they're all color coded for.
Look at this.
Yes, you see, because
Mhm.
when I have my different scenes, my characters might all, when I'm plotting, they might all have different colors. So I might have the Ping be pink, and Miguel be purple, and Tyrone be blue. So when I'm crafting and I'm drafting out what's happening, I can color code. So these pens, they're the only ones I use. I refuse to use any other pens. I'm a total pen snob, very loyal to that brand, Pilot.
There you go. You know what they say, the pen is truly mightier than the sword,
Yes, that's right.
which I've heard dozens of times in my life and my career. And it makes perfect sense. It was said in Batman 89. It was said again in Indiana Jones and the Last Crusade. Both of those films were released in the same year, 1989 AD, which both turned 35 earlier this year.
Oh gosh, right. Okay.
I know. I'm sorry. I don't mean to make us feel any younger. It's just I had to see what I did there. But a lot of movies have anniversaries every single year, and that's one of the things we do on this channel. We celebrate movies that turn a certain age within its year, and we do it. We did a lot of shows this year. If you thought 2024 was crazy, ladies and gentlemen, the new season in 2025 is going to be 10 times more insane because 2 Back to the Future movies turn a certain age. 2 Batman movies are turning a certain age. 2 Predator movies are turning a certain age. It's a plethora.
Yes. I've got a Michael J. Fox story.
Oh, do you?
Yes, yeah, I've got a few stories like this. But I was raised in Vancouver, Canada, which is called Hollywood North. A lot of
Yes.
actors there.
Yes.
And when I don't know how old we were, like 9 and 10 or something, my friend and I, her stepdad was a journalist. And he was interviewing Michael J. Fox, and he had the number, and somehow we got the family number from Michael J. Fox. Yes. So we spent so much time thinking about, like, what are we going to do? And, I think we called quite a few times, and then the parents would have answered, and we just hung up. I don't know why we were expecting he would answer. That's it. That's my story. We'd
I
call
was going to say, if you actually got in touch with Michael J. Fox and you had a conversation with Marty McFly, I would have lost my ever-loving mind.
I know. Yes.
Wow, the things that could have been.
Mm.
1.21 gigawatts. Sorry, I've seen that movie one too many times. How many times have you seen that movie? Have you seen Back to the Future a lot?
Yeah, in the day I saw it a lot. I loved it. Absolutely loved it.
I still do.
Yeah. And David Duchovny and Scully were around the neighborhood a lot in Vancouver when I was in high school, which is pretty cool. And I saw him at the Nom restaurant, which is a 24-hour vegetarian restaurant. He was sitting beside us.
Really?
Mm-hmm.
Did you say hi to Fox Mulder?
I mean, I don't know why I didn't. My friend was braver, and she went and said hello to him. Yeah, he seemed really cool.
Yes.
Yes.
There you go. All right, the truth is out there, folks. The truth is out there. Because I didn't watch it in its original run. I watched the series many years later. But X-Files is a darn cool show.
Yeah.
I'll give credit where credit's due, man. That theme song is banger, and Scully and Mulder, it was great team. Great team.
Yeah, in my lifetime, I've never seen any like fan base to anything like that. Because I was sort of, I think around that time, then I was sort of in my 20s in Montreal going to university. And, on Friday nights, because it was only out once a week, it would air. And there was bars with big signs saying, X-Files is, showing this Friday night, and people would gather together. So I think my lifetime, X-Files and Game of Thrones were probably the most people getting together in groups and talking about a TV show that they found so thrilling.
So basically, those were the water cooler shows, as one might say.
Yeah. Yeah.
Wow, man, X-Files, the truth is out there. But then you get Game of Thrones, where every week in every episode, someone dies. You
Right.
know,
Well,
in a
and one death
bloody.
is no big deal, right? No.
I know, but still, it's like,
Yeah.
okay, the only thing I know about Game of Thrones is that everybody dies in the end or something like that. I don't know. A lot of people die. A lot of people die. There's
Yeah.
red weddings, guys. There's red weddings. Okay. Do you remember? Does anyone remember the red wedding? Whew, that was some nasty stuff. And I do not want to go into it on this program. Let me tell you, even though people keep telling me, it's like, Ryan, you need to sit down and stream the first 8 seasons of Game of Thrones. Don't worry about the last one because it was horrible, but stream the first 8. And I'm like, well, I don't know if I want to sit through blood and violence. I mean, I don't mind violence. I don't mind blood here and there, but
Hmm.
I don't know if I can sit through 8 seasons of Game of Thrones, man.
Yeah.
I don't know. It's just like, I like fantasy adventure stuff. I don't mind it. It's just I don't know if it's my cup of tea.
It's pretty amazing storytelling, and you can always like fast forward bits, I think. Because yeah, it's gratuitous. There's lots of gratuitous violence, but you don't have to watch it all necessarily.
Yeah, that's very true. I'm not going to argue that, Bella. I'm not going to argue that. Well, maybe I'll sit down and watch it one of these days. I don't know. I've heard good things about it, so I'm not going to argue with that. And I do like sword fights, because a lot of swords are involved in Game of Thrones. I don't mind that either. What can I say? But outside of the craziness that ensued with what is known as Game of Thrones, and the fact that you almost had a great conversation with Michael J. Fox one day. You almost did. You were. I'm telling you, Bella, you were this close. And I'm like, man, we could have had a Marty McFly story on, and I quote, but unfortunately, some things were not meant to be.
No.
But we still love you, Bella. It's okay. So if you, gee whiz, if you had to lose one of your 5 senses, which one would you give up specifically?
Oh my gosh. My my immediate reaction is hearing. Like, I don't know why. Maybe because there's so much noise these days, and I'm busy and I'm feeling a little overwhelmed. So I really value for my daily meditations when it's quiet. And I know that's just of course, if I had that sense taken, I would regret it so much and miss the people's voice who I love, et cetera, et cetera. But that's the first thing that comes to me is like this overwhelming desire for silence.
There you go. Silence. Nothing wrong with that. Wasn't there a song written about silence at some point? I don't know. There's probably a couple of them. I can't remember. Someone's gonna have to Google that in the backstage area for me. I can't do it. But anyway, what's the first impression that you would want to give people?
I think that's changed throughout my life. I think these days my goal would be that I seem comfortable in myself and confident, that my confidence is shining through, and that's been hard earned.
There you go. Nothing wrong with that. Gotta have more cowbell, baby. No, I'm just kidding.
Yeah.
No, it's great. Congratulations on that, and it makes perfect sense. Totally.
Because being comfortable in your own skin is that's a difficult task, and I think it's internal. It's feeling confident who you are, getting over childhood issues, seeing, being in tune with your own reality. Those are all important things, and they don't come easy.
That's also very true. I feel like Bella's some sort of doctor who knows a thing or two because she's seen a thing or two in her lifetime, respectively. With all due respect, we are farmer. Sorry, I got the J.K. Simmons ad stuck in my head, but it happens. It happens once in a blue moon. No, I completely get it, and makes a lot of sense. My goodness gracious, I will say that. Well, I want to take this opportunity to say thank you to Dr. Bella Ellwood-Clayton. There's a name for you. For being our guest on this episode of And I Quote. Bella, it has been an honor and a pleasure and a treasure having you here in our virtual studio. Of course, you're more than welcome to come back anytime.
Thank you.
Yeah, if someone wants to know more about you or purchase one of your books and things of that nature, maybe even book you for a New York Times bestseller signing in New York.
Oh, please.
If you're willing to fly back over to the States and say hello to some of us here on the East Coast, or maybe even the West Coast, if you have friends, family, coworkers, or neighbors that live out there, where can they follow you on social media, Bella?
Sure. So my website is www.bella And if you are a writer seeking some help, I do free 25-minute chats to hear about your project, or a 3-page free sample. On Insta and TikTok, which we were talking about, I'm at Bella Ellwood-Clayton. So just my full name, Bella Ellwood with 2 L's, Clayton. And there's a newspaper link there as well. And my books are on sale on Amazon.
Congratulations once again. Thank you so much for being with us here, Bella. And the links are located in the description below. So make sure you check those out, purchase her book, check out some of the wonderful things she's doing to support the writing community, new writers and other writers alike. Bella, I'm going to talk to you here momentarily. So don't go anywhere, my young friend. I'm going to be talking to you here again here momentarily, with all due respect. My name is Ryan of And I Quote Channel. Follow me on Twitter and Instagram at RyanRPM5. Feel free to follow us across all forms of social media, simply at And I Quote Channel. It's where you can follow all our other social media channels. You can find out more about Bella and the incredible things she's doing in the description of this video. Also, we're on the road again to 5,000 subscribers. And once we do, we'll go through a great big live stream celebration that will include returning favorites such as Bella is more than welcome to come back and share with us what she's been up to since the last time we saw her. If the schedules work out in her favor, because once again, I'm on the East Coast. She's an Aussie in Australia on a different time zone. So we're going to have to discuss that as well. But help us get there. It's going to be a lot of fun. And we're also going to have special giveaways that you, our incredible viewers / subscribers, are going to be eligible to win. So help us reach 5,000 before the end of the year of 2024. Really appreciate it. Guess what? The seasons are changing, and we got merch. We got shirts, we got hoodies, we got stickers, we got coffee mugs. We also have pillows, G Willikers, stationery, and some other fun little trinkets. The links are located within our social media bio. So please make sure to check those out. And I quote, the flagship show of this channel is on Saturdays, normally at 12 p.m. EST, unless otherwise notified. And the other thing is we do movie watch-alongs on Fridays at 7 p.m. Eastern Time, as well as the first Friday of each month is going to be the Meaning of Fandom, where we gather people together, 4 or 5, and they share with us what a particular character or fandom what it means to them and why, which is a lot of fun, to be perfectly honest with you. So tune in for that. It's going to be awesome-tacular, as one might say. Once again, my name is Ryan of And I Quote Channel. Thank you so much for being a part of this episode of And I Quote. Do not forget to like, comment, share, subscribe, ring the bell to be notified of when our videos, go up or they go live. Remember, life is better when supporting creators from all over the world. Take a look.
Author Cindy Kep is writing on the edge. Books include Remnant in the Stars, The Loudest Actions, Lines of Succession, Mindstorm, Condemned Courier, the Yerushalayim series, and Animal Eye. Find author Cindy Kep at CKOEPP.com today.
Good morning. Oh, and in case I don't see you, good afternoon, good evening, and good night.